Hello everyone, how's it going? This is going to be the video review of Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Ultra Magnus. And here he is, obviously, in his packaging. And front of the package, obviously. Side of the package, very cool picture of Ultra Magnus there. Other side, cool picture of the arc taken off. Back with product shots, top, bottom, and that's it. So, obviously what I'm going to do now is pause when he gets this guy out of the box and see what he's like. Alright guys, here we have Ultra Magnus out of the package and into his vehicular mode. And honestly, I am a lot more of a fan of this mode in person than I was with any pictures or video reviews of this guy. Obviously, this is, just one configuration of his weapons. You can, peg his weapons onto any of his holes. This is just the one that I like because I like the way it looks. Now, is his vehicle mode perfect? No. The wheels there don't really touch the ground. I mean, he rolls, okay, and he slides more accurately. He doesn't roll all that well. But the way he looks is obviously very reminiscent, as everyone else has pointed out, of his, car robots in disguise look. But I actually like the way this looks a lot better than that toy. I used to have that toy, but I have not had it for quite a long time now. I think some pieces on it broke, and I ended up, throwing it away. My biggest complaint about his vehicle mode are his feet in the back. They're not flat there. And, of course, the fact that he doesn't roll. But overall, I do like the way this looks. He looks, with all these guns on him, he looks more like a rolling battle platform than a car carrier. And overall, I think it's a look that actually really works for this. He's nice and chunky, and he looks, really good in my opinion. Now, can he carry cars in this mode? Sure he can. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll do a few quick relevant car comparisons. In fact, here is Proud from the Robots in Disguise line, who I just have Mock Alert, actually, who I have converted into vehicular mode, and that's how they stack up next to each other. And obviously he'll fit on top just fine. So the question is, can you fit a second deluxe car up there? Sort of. I'll show you. Let me get this gun off. And we'll get Sideswipe from the current line, and his wheels hang off. So you can kind of do it. It works okay. Oh. It works okay, but it's far from perfect. And that's what that looks like, in case you guys are wondering. It's actually about the same as Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. And here he is with one of his, 86 movie counterparts. Here he is with Titan's Return Hot Rod. And obviously, the old deluxes are, pretty much a lot larger than the than the new deluxes, right? I mean, but I still think this scale works fairly well. I mean, Hot Rod can, if you want, we can throw Hot Rod on top of him easily enough, and he fits just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few other comparisons with a few other Ultra Magnuses I got. We'll start off, of course, with Combiner Wars. And as far as length goes, Combiner Wars Magnus is just a hair longer there on the end. Maybe it's hard to tell from this angle. Let me move the camera so you guys can see it a little bit better. Maybe. No, it's not. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, an eighth. It's not significant. Here, let me line them up. Actually, it would make way more sense if I did this. If I line them up back to back there. Then we'll just bear with me bashing the camera around there. And as you can see, he's, you know, Combiner Wars is very slightly ahead, but not by much. Pretty close in size. And as far as the mass goes, this is most definitely heavier than Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus. Now, as far as which one you like better, that, of course, is going to be up to personal preference in vehicular mode. This one does look more like the G1 Ultra Magnus than this, but I do really like the look of this. So let's go ahead and get him out of the way. And another relevant comparison is, we'll just go ahead and do G1 Ultra Magnus. So let's grab the trailer here. Maybe. There we go. All right. And we'll see how these guys stack up next to each other. And obviously, you know, the G1 trailer is way bigger than his, but just so you can see how those two guys stack up. So let's go ahead, and we're now going to actually separate out the robot from the trailer, which is fairly simple. We'll just go ahead and, or at least, you know, the inner robot, right? Just kind of disconnect the sides there. Disconnect this piece, and boom, trailer kind of rolls right off. And we'll do, you know, by itself, this is not, obviously we got some pretty visible robot arm syndrome there. By itself in vehicle mode, this is completely, honestly, just in my opinion, non-impressive. Here he is with G1 Ultra Magnus. He is bigger than G1 Ultra Magnus, obviously, but there you go, just so you can get a comparison. And here he is with a figure I haven't seen anyone really compare this with yet, but I will just for fun. Here he is with Combiner Wars. I think that's Power Core Optimus. I don't know. And obviously it's a lot bigger. And the whole reason I bought this Optimus figure is because it's colored like Ultra Magnus. It's white. If this hadn't been white, I never would have bought it, because as a figure, it's highly mediocre. But there you go. There's their relative comparative vehicle mode size. And I'll bring him in close so you can see the details on him. He's all right. You know, not too bad. So let's go ahead and get down to transformation of the, quote, inner robot. It's pretty easy. All you got to do is, first step, is you kind of, separate the legs. Carefully bring them down. Flip out his heel spurs so you don't forget. Then you separate the arms. Angle the camera up so you guys can see this a little bit better. Angle up his arm, and then rotate him around like so. We'll pull his, maybe. Oh, well, we have to straighten it up. Rotate that around, and now get his head out. There we go. That separates. Obviously, there's his head. And we kind of snap everything together. And that's pretty much it. Now you got And you flip his fists around. And now you have Ultra Magnus in his inner robot mode. And this mode I love. I am absolutely impressed to hell with this one. This looks incredible. So anyway, what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to pause, get some more guys transformed so we can do some more comparisons. See you guys in a minute. Alright guys, let's go ahead and do a few comparisons with the base mode of Ultra Magnus here. Here he is with the base robot of, from Shockwave here without all the junk on him. And I think that scale works pretty darn well. Here he is with Irrelevant Deluxe from the series, Sideswipe. I think that's about right. Here he is with the G1 base bot, in case you're curious. And here he is with the bot that has been actually serving as my Magnus base mode. Power Core Combiners. Or not Power Core, Jesus Christ, man. I think this is Power Core Optimus from Combiner Wars. This is a much better toy than this. That's highly mediocre figure. This is really cool. This is a lot bigger and bulkier, but it's a lot worse. So, anyway, but obviously, old Voyagers, as far as weight goes, which is heavier? There's that. This is heavier, so, yeah, whatever. So, yeah, that's that. Let's get that out of the way, because, we were talking about downsizing and all that in one of my recent videos. So, let's go ahead and show off this base bot, as I absolutely love this thing, actually. I really love the base bot of Ultra Magnus. I mean, this is just a very cool figure. Let me go ahead and raise the camera. I mean, you can get some really great poses with this guy. Give him 2 weapons. Of course, why not? I mean, that is just, wow, I love it. My only real complaint about this mode is a little bit of his proportions, which I'll get to. But anyway, before I get to that, let's go ahead and show off articulation. He's got ankle tilt. He's got knee bend there. He's got thigh rotation there. Or, nice ratchet joints there. He does have waist rotation. Full 360 there. Elbow out. Swivel. Slightly more than 90-degree bend. Wrist rotation, and head is on a ball joint. So, obviously, pretty posable overall. And overall, I'm very, very pleased with this. My only issue is his center mass is he's a bit chunky. He's like a chunky body. It's like he's got a few extra pounds on him a little bit, but I think it really works for this. And I think he's an exceptionally great figure. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him in so you can really see the details on him. I really appreciate how they put the prime, for lack of a better term, the prime arrows on him. That head sculpt, wow. That really pops. I really, really like that head sculpt. I mean, honestly, everything on this figure is just awesome. I like this so much. This is the best, White Optimus figure, inner Magnus figure that's not a masterpiece. I think, honestly, that we've ever gotten. This is absolutely phenomenal figure. I love this thing. This is great. This is even before we get to, of course, his main Ultra Magnus mode. But this, wow. Just wow. Yeah, it'd be nice if the smokestacks were a little longer. But other than that, I have really nothing but good things to say about this figure. Oh, I forgot to do his other heel spur. apparently, when I transformed him. There we go. All good now. So, yeah. Anyway, it's not too tough to get him into his full Ultra Magnus mode. So let's go ahead and lift the camera up, because I know I'm definitely going to need that to show everything off. We'll go ahead and we'll start with his leg pieces. And pretty much everything just kind of... We'll go ahead and put his heel spur back in. It might be easier that way. And he just slides on. His other heel spur. And we'll... Come on now. Maybe. That's what happens when you try and do this stuff on camera. You're reaching over and you're like, man, such a reach. Alright, cool. And we'll do this transformation piece to get his, you know, that piece looking right for the Ultra Magnus waist. Just so to repeat what I did there, guys, so you can see it. It folds down and rotates, whether it's, you know, Interbot mode or full-on Magnus mode. There you go. There's that. And let's go ahead and now we'll teach the part. Well, actually, his head's gonna have to go down next, I guess. So let's do that real quick. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, man. Alright, let's get that piece there. Then slide that forward. The tolerances are tight on these figures, obviously, guys. Since I'm kind of having some issues getting this to move. There we go. Rotate that down. Flip that. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Flip those. Flip that. Let me lock that on there. It's almost Ultra Magnus now. He's getting close. Maybe. There we go. Magnus with short arms. Yeah, alright, so. Alright. These pieces go next, I guess. Let's see, how did these go on? Okay. These basically just slide on. Yeah. Slide on. And then the last piece really is his gauntlets. And those go, let's see here. Those just basically snap on. Where's the front? Yeah. Figure it out. There we go. And last gauntlet there. And there we go. Now we've got him in his full Ultra Magnus mode. Alright guys, let's get some relevant comparisons for Ultra Magnus's fully combined robot mode done here. I'll start off just for fun with that Combiner Wars figure. And despite the downsizing, at least he is still, you know, bigger than, you know, classic Voyager. Not by much. Not by much at all, but by a tad, at least. At least. Just for kicks, we'll put him next to G1 Ultra Magnus. Yep. Alright. Set him down. And for a whole lot of fun, And I know other people will show this, but I figure why not, right? Here he is with, get this camera a little higher here. There he is with Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, just so you can see the two of them next to each other. Obviously way, way smaller, but there you go. A lot of people are saying these are like mini masterpieces, and I had to kind of agree with that sentiment. That definitely seems to be kind of the aesthetic that they're going for. And let me go ahead and get, of course, the most relevant comparison that everyone's going to be, you know, a little bit focused on. And here's the Combiner Wars leader class. And clearly, now as far as the weight of the plastic, again, this guy weighs more than this guy. I mean, you can feel it when you lift them both up. But clearly, this just... Whatever, I knocked the gun out of his hand. This just looks a lot bigger, you know, a lot bulkier than the new one. And as far as which one out of these two you're going to prefer, of course, that is going to largely be down to, you know, personal preference, right? So let's go ahead and get some, you know, other bots, Season 3 bots here, and see who we think that this scale works better with. So we got Hot Rod. Get, if RC can stand up, right? And we'll put, oh, I'm knocking them around. Put RC right here. Yeah, Springer's too close. Springer's really hogging the camera. Okay, let's, yeah. That's what perspective does, folks. Okay, so as I knock these figures all around, right? Doing super great showing this off. Let's see, next off, we'll grab Cup, who's looking over there. This is one crowded group shot here. Blurs way over here. We'll scoot the camera back very slightly so we can see this a bit better. And we'll even throw in Legends class wheelie there. And that's a pretty good group shot. Obviously, now which one you think scales better with the rest of the Season 3 Autobots, that's going to be kind of up to you. Obviously, he's a lot bigger than any of these, but I think this scale still works fairly well, but Springer is almost, he's only a head shorter than the new leader class, which is kind of funny. He's not much shorter, but as far as which one you think works better, of course, is going to be purely down to personal preference. Oh, I did forget to show off a few comparisons with the current line, so we'll do that real quick. Here he is. Here are these two figures with Deluxe Class Sideswipe. And honestly, I think he definitely works better with the new line. This is just too big for that figure. And here he is with Leader Class Shockwave. Let's go ahead and move this guy out of the way. Yeah, Shockwave is still, disappointing as a leader class. Let's go ahead and just take Shockwave's junk off real quick, and then you can see how he compares to the Voyager from the line. There we go. And I think that works out, very nicely, really. So, whatever. We'll go ahead and, of course, now that he's got the spotlight all to himself. We'll show off articulation. He's got bend there at the knee, or I'm sorry, ankle tilt. Jeez. Bend at the knees. I mean, it's basically his, inner bot articulation, and it's not really restricted too much. His Magnus head is like basically on a ball joint, so obviously you can get this guy in some pretty dynamic poses. My only complaint about this combined mode is the fact you can't flatten the feet out entirely. They're constantly somewhat bent, but that's not a giant deal. And by the way, this is just one of countless configurations you can have for the weapon. I chose to post his gun on his rear, but of course you can have him wield his main gun very easily, and that looks really cool and iconic. This, I have to say, I'm just going to call it now. This is my favorite Ultra Magnus figure, G1 styled Ultra Magnus figure, aside from the Masterpiece. I like the Combiner Wars figure a lot, but this is overall, I feel, a stronger figure. Yeah, it's smaller. Clearly, it's smaller. And yeah, you can combine his gun into a big gun. And if you really want, you can clip the missile pods onto it too. So let's see, where's the side holes there? Oh yeah, there it is. You guys get the general gist of this. So yeah, you can combine all his weapons into one if you want. So let's go ahead and take the weapons off there. And let's go ahead. So I'm knocking stuff around in the camera. Let's get the right amount of zoom there. And we'll just get a really good detailed look at this guy. Honestly, this is an absolutely fantastic looking figure. I don't have many complaints about his appearance. As far as the weathering paint, the only one I don't like is that chip there on his face. That's annoying and doesn't really need to be there in my opinion, but it's a thing you kind of have to deal with. So that's a slight bummer, but other than that, I'm fine with the weathering effects on him. And honestly, this is just a fantastic, awesome looking figure. And if you are a G1 Ultra Magnus fan, it's incredibly easy to recommend this guy. I mean, he really is, in a lot of ways, basically a mini masterpiece. I think, honestly, so far, this line is pretty excellent. I hate to say it, it's one of the best main, it's probably the best mainline, non-masterpiece that Takara Hasbro really has ever done. My only real complaints about it are, they raised price and made the figures smaller, especially Shockwave. Shockwave is, of course, an egregious example of that. But overall, this line is flippin' fantastic so far. And yeah, this guy is a definite recommend. Buy it. If you don't want to pay $50 for it, I totally understand. Just wait a while. I'm sure he'll go on sale since this is a Wave 1 figure. It will be everywhere at some point and probably will go for clearance prices at some point. So anyway, that's pretty much it. As always, if you like this, thumbs up. If you hate me, thumbs down. Share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Live long and prosper.